You are tuned into Be Bold Radio, breaking barriers over lives daily. This is the place for you to learn strategies and tools to turn your business, your dreams, and your goals into a reality. Thanks for tuning in to Be Bold Radio. This is your host, Dymeata B, and you're listening to episode number 136. Hello. I believe, I hope, I pray that you all are having an amazing day thus far. This podcast is really just a recap on this virtual learning. And to you mothers out there and fathers, because there are some fathers that are at home or, that are making sure that their children are on beat with this virtual learning. But let me tell you, oh my God, never in a million years did I ever imagine homeschooling. I had somebody that I knew that was homeschooling their children. And I commended her. I applauded her. I thought it was amazing. But I just never, ever thought or imagined myself homeschooling my children. I really just never. Seriously, never. And many of you know that I am an entrepreneur of many businesses. But right now, they shouldn't be at a standstill, but they really are. And this is a transparent podcast. And they're not at a standstill because, things are dwindling away, because they're not. However, I have made a decision to put my children first. Well, not first, but put them before everything else. And I'm a wife first, and then I'm a mom, then my businesses, you know what I mean? Then I feel like my businesses comes next. But right now, my children need me. They need structure. They need accountability. They need to be, monitored, and they need that love right now. And I feel like, although I never imagined myself homeschooling, it's probably the best thing that could have ever happened to my children and even myself. I'm learning a lot about myself while homeschooling. And, when this first, announcement came out that children may not go back to school, I'm like, what? No, I don't believe that. That can't happen. Lord, please don't let it happen. But I stopped praying against it, because if it happens, that means that this is God's will. You know what I mean? I felt like there's a lesson to be learned, and I value my children's health and safety first. So, my businesses, I have not been plugging my businesses. I really, truly need an assistant, to be honest with you. I need an assistant so freaking bad. And I'm believing for one. I'm calling them from the north, the south, the east, or the west. I'm calling them into my future, into my now. But really, I really am honored to be homeschooling right now. Like I said, I'm learning so much about myself. One, my children were not getting nutritional meals like they are now. My children normally eat pretty healthy. My husband and I don't eat healthy and feed them slops. My husband and I right now, we are transitioning to vegan, pescatarian. I'll say pescatarian, but more so plant-based. We're eating a lot of plant-based food, and from time to time we'll have seafood. So I would consider myself a pescatarian, but my children, they probably will be a pescatarian, not even by choice, just unknowingly, just because they love seafood. But they love meat as well. They love turkey and chicken. So although we eat pretty healthy, they do too. I make sure that they get a balanced meal, dinner and breakfast and different things like that. Well, when it came to lunch, there were times that they would eat the lunch from the school, and there were times where they would just, eat lunch from home. But it kind of, shifted a little bit, and they just want chips and something sweet for school, and they cool, So I stopped really doing getting all into the healthy lunches, because I knew I was feeding them healthy breakfast and dinner. So with that being said, homeschooling has given me the opportunity to really put in and be intentional about their food, their eating. I invested in them, their desk and their chairs, because I wanted them to have a classroom like feel, but still feel comfortable in their home. My office is the biggest office in the house, and I had plans for my office. Well, I had to alter those plans because my children are now utilizing my office. So I wanted to give them the best atmosphere and environment that I could, so that they can be focused and they could have a feeling of comfort while they're at home, and I believe that it's been the best thing for me. And so I said that to say, because I decided to put a halt on my business, just to push the pause button for a second and put my family first. And when I did that, I was less frustrated, because I was frustrated with trying to run my businesses and fulfill appointments and all of this stuff. And it was really taking a toll on me, and I would become very, I guess you can say resentful. I would go as far as to say resentful, because I felt like I'm putting my stuff last. But I believe that because I'm honoring my family and putting them first. I truly believe that God is going to supernaturally do a work in my day that if he told me and showed me, I wouldn't even believe it. And so I'm believing that for my business. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, if you take care of your family, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. And so I believe he's going to do that. And he's doing that. And so I've really have taken pleasure in, I get up before the kids and I'm praying, and I really take that 35 minutes to pray and get in the presence of God and meditate. And then I wake them up. Their breakfast is prepped at night. In fact, I need to print it out, but I have like their school lunch and breakfast already, just like the menus from school. That's what I decided to do for my children. That way it helps me as well, because then I know what I should be preparing for the next day. And so, I'm really enjoying this, to be honest with you. I'm watching them grow. They're not little babies anymore. They are teenagers. And, I just have to be wise and use different methods, to relate to them, to make sure they're eating healthy, and still get them to do what I need them to do. So it's been great for me. My husband, he works downstairs. His office is downstairs. And so I try to make sure that the environment is conducive so that he has a great work environment, that my children have a great work environment. And at the end, in the evening, I can work, or early mornings, I'll have a great work environment. And so I believe God is pleased. And so I'm telling you all of this to encourage you mothers, take one day at a time. Just take one day at a time. I can't get everything done. I'll still work my business, but I'm not pressured to get everything done at once. I take one project and I try to focus on that. If it's just sending one invoice out, if it's just answering one email, I'm good, but I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm trusting that God is going to take care of my business because I choose to take care of his. So if you are a mom out there, even a father out there, I want you to know, just take one day at a time, okay? Pace yourself. That way you're not frustrated like I was. And to you working mothers and you working fathers, my prayers go out to you, because you may be an essential worker and you may not have the leverage to stay home while your children are being while they are remotely learning. And so my prayer for you is that God will give you the grace, and that whatever you do as far as your work and vocation, that God will give you favor and give you grace where you work, and that God would also be over your children, and give you wisdom, and give you the energy that you need, momentum that you need. That's my prayer for you. And so that's all I wanted to share. I just wanted to tell you, parents, take it one day at a time. Don't complain about this season, because guess what? God allowed everything to shut down. He allowed this closeness with our families for a reason. Life is too short, and we need to take it one day at a time. Until next time, continue to believe, be original, and live your dreams. Are you a leader, entrepreneur, author, or speaker? Did you have a lifestyle change that you want to share with the world? Do you have some helpful health tips that could change our life? Well, be a guest on the Be Bold Radio Show. Email us at beboldradio@gmail.com. Again, that's beboldradio@gmail.com.